everybody, it's Joy from the Women's AI Visibility Institute, WAVE for short. And today we're going to talk about where an entity lives. Yesterday I talked about the difference between a website and an entity. And we talked about AI doesn't necessarily believe what your website says because you own it, you control it, you create the content. An entity is something that AI trusts. And you build that entity through different sources. And today we're going to talk about what sources does an entity trust? Wikidata. Now, there's Wikipedia, which we're all familiar with. And what we're not familiar with is Wikidata. And the data part is the credentials that AI looks to or leans to. For example, if you're an attorney and you want a Wiki data, you have to create, it's not really an application, but a process that verifies your credential. For instance, that would be your bar license, the cases that you've won and been cited on, articles that you've written, media outlets that have carried an article or referenced you. For example, if you wrote an article to your local bar journal or a bar association, those things that can get cited and AI can have a reference to. That is a third party source that AI trusts. So a Wikidata Q number that you get, you put on your website, and an AI instantly knows that you've gone to college and graduated in what year, you were admitted in the bar in what year, you've won XYZ case and has been cited, you've spoken at a conference and you give a reference to that. All these things are third party independent sources that Wikidata is a database that houses this information. What's interesting is I did a study to see how many women attorneys actually have that. What's interesting is 6.3% of women attorneys are have a Wikidata Q number. Those women are politicians, historians, no private practice women have this. And it is the foundation or the underlying source that AI pulls from, one of the sources, a very important one. So when you think about building your entity and you don't have that, you're not giving AI the foundation it needs to find you credible and recommend you. So this is a very important piece when you think about SEO, GEO, and AI visibility. Creating your entity is the foundation that GEO and SEO is built on, and yet no one starts there. So look that up, find out what I'm talking about, because we know women in private practice are not in the database. Reach out to me. I'm happy to talk about it. You can reach me at joy@wavinstitute.com. This week, we're talking about entity and building your entity, and Wikidata is one of the important pillars of that. So, check out my LinkedIn page. I write about it extensively. I wrote about it today in my post, and I will see you next time.